let's talk about one of the worst habits of the Ifam. So they all have, you know what really gets me, right? They all come over to the huge channel and start causing trouble on there, and then they go running back to the image channel and start playing the victims, claiming that they were being victimized by people. But what they don't actually say, is that they were the ones that actually instigated the trouble. Like they were the ones that caused it. And Mama Don Dons, who I mentioned earlier, is one of the worst culprits for that. She loves coming over to the Huge channel, causing trouble on there, and then running back to the Image channel saying that she was being victimised and God knows what else. But what she doesn't actually tell people is that she was the one that was actually instigating the trouble. She was the one who was in trouble and everything, which is, probably what she should be telling people. But that's one of the many things that she actually neglects to tell people. The IFAM, there's no good word, I don't know how else to describe, apart from shameful and pathetic. Obviously they think that defending Chris and Sarah does make them look good. That's why they do it. Mother Don Dons, I think we've seen good examples of just how vile she can really be. Some of the IFAM are worse than others, like Tracy Jacobs, Leanne Scott. They're another two that often get mentioned because they are two of the worst IFAM out there. You get the vibe, the vibe I get from Mama Don Dons when I read her. I mean, sometimes it's actually hard to read a lot of the comments that she puts out there. A lot of the vibe I get is that, she's either, well, she's related to the Inhams in some way, shape or form. Because, it's just the way that she gets so defensive. That's what really grinds my wit, is they get so defensive towards people, like they don't every time someone who, people say anything towards, Chris and Sarah, it's even remotely negative, they come down on you like a ton of bricks. But as I've said before, it's like, there's always going to be that question of why they get so defensive over a family that they don't even know. Because this is the thing, it's like they don't even know the family, yet they get so defensive over them. Whenever anyone calls them out for anything, they get so defensive. And they don't quite understand why. But I think it's a bit weird that they get so defensive. And I think anybody with an answer on the set would that and go, well, that's a bit weird. As I said, you know what's funny, right? Whenever anyone posts a negative comment on the Inhams channel, you always get someone like Mama Don Dons or Tracy Jacobs or someone coming on and responding to your comment saying, if you don't like it, don't watch. But people would say the same to them about the Raccoons videos. Like, they're always slagging him off. I've seen them posting comments on the Inhams channel slagging him off, for whatever the reason might be. Yeah, they still go and watch his videos. And it's like, if they don't like what he does or don't agree with what he does, why do they watch his videos? What is their reason for watching his videos if they don't like what he does or they don't agree necessarily with what the Raccoon, puts out there? It's hilarious, to say the least. I don't know what else to say. Because there's not really anything else I could say about this that hasn't already been said. Other than it is just absolutely hilarious. The fact that they say don't watch, if you don't like what the Inhams put out there, don't watch. But we could say it's that same for them about what, them watching the videos on the Raccoon's channel. They don't know what the Raccoon does. Don't watch his videos. I mean, people need to start realising that Mama Don Dons is the worst. Like, you don't want to get into an argument with her. She's not someone that you would want to be associated with, or that you would want to have anything to do with. Like, she's not the sort of person who you want to get into an argument with. Like, she's the sort of person that you would want to avoid getting into an argument with, because she can be so vile. Like we've seen proof of just how vile, rude, horrible and nasty she can be to people. And, she prides herself on being one of Sarah and Chris's loyal bodyguards, but being a bodyguard for someone that, actually rooms, actually roomed a 16-year-old girl, that's nothing to be proud of. She's just completely, when you look at the Ifam, they come across as incredibly naive, incredibly stupid, incredibly immature. I get the vibe that a lot of the Ifam are young children, young children who don't understand what child exploitation is, or don't understand that what Chris and Sarah are doing is wrong. I'm not saying that Mama Dondons is a child, but you get the vibe that some of them are children. They certainly act like 5-year-olds, some of them. And some of them, and the way that some of them respond is how you would expect a 5-year-old to respond. In that respect, I don't agree particularly with the way that they. I feel like there's absolutely no way for them, absolutely no need for them to respond to negative comments in the way they do, or speak to people the way they do. And I've said that about Chris and Sarah a lot, but the same thing could be said about the Ifam as well. Is that it's the fact that they respond to negative comments in a way that they probably don't really need to. Like they respond to comments in a very immature and somewhat inappropriate way. And when when people start retaliating to them, they don't like it. Like Leanne Stott, all she does is accuse people of being bullies. That's all you see. That's all you're seeing. Every time someone posts a negative comment, you get Leanne Stott, whoever she is, jumping on your comments saying, accusing people of being bullies. It's like whenever you call her out, she comes out with, I'm dyslexic, I'm this, I'm that, trying to come up with some excuse. Just as people don't agree with what the Unums do, and don't agree with the fact they're exploiting their kids, that doesn't make people bullies. I think if there's anyone here with bullies, then it's the Ifam. The Ifam are more bullies than we are. We're not, posting a negative comment isn't classed as bully, isn't classed as being a bully. How are people bullies just because they don't agree with what the Unums do, or for example. But Leanne Stott seems to think that everyone's a bully, it was funny the other day when someone posted a comment, on the vlog, saying wow the views, and a load of Ifam jumped on that comment as they thought that that person was posting a negative comment, but it turns out they weren't. They made themselves look incredibly stupid. This is the thing. Like, we have seen examples of where the Ifam have jumped on people for absolutely no reason. I remember there was an uproar on one of the vlogs they uploaded not too long ago, because someone posted a comment on the vlog, and all they had said was that they preferred the travel vlogs over, like the home vlogs, over the travel vlogs. And a load of Ifam started jumping on that person for no reason. And one of the people that started jumping on them was, of course, Leanne Stott. And she then started having to go at other people because they were calling her out over the fact that she had jumped on this person's comment for absolutely no reason. As all she accused this person of being jealous. And, all this person was saying was that they prefer the home vlogs over the travel vlogs. And this Leanne Scott had jumped on someone's comment, calling them, accusing them of being jealous. And then started getting the art and started getting the ump and started getting triggered when people started calling her out for the fact that she jumped on this person's comment for no reason. But this is the thing. The Ifam have been known to jump on people's comments for absolutely no reason. They'll jump on someone's comment thinking they're being negative, trying to be negative. When obviously that person who commented about the views wasn't obviously trying to be negative. But it's just madness with the Ifam. Like, they're so incredibly brainwashed. They come across as brainwashed, somewhat deluded, and I don't know what else to say. They do come across as, incredibly brainwashed, incredibly deluded. Like they don't, it would help. I wouldn't have an issue with them if they were actually willing to admit that sometimes they are in the wrong, and that they're not always right. But this is the problem with the Ifam, is they don't think they're ever in the wrong about anything. They can never be. It's like they can never be wrong about anything. It's like they always have to be right about everything. And this is what causes a lot of the arguments. It causes a lot of disagreements. It causes a lot of issues. It's the fact that the Ifam always have to be right. I think they always have to be right about everything. They can't ever be wrong about something. And again, obviously another cause of the sometimes it's like when they cause issues by jumping on people's comments for no reason. I posted a comment on a vlog the other week, and all I had said was stop letting his dive in shallow water. Nothing wrong with anyone saying that, telling them to stop letting his dive in shallow water. I'd said that out of pure concern because I was worried that one of the kids will end up getting hurt. And I got a load of people jump on my comments saying, mind your own business, stop telling them what to do, And I just thought to myself like that, this is my comment, my comment was, one of me showing genuine concern. And I was being told to mind my own business and things like that, it's just crazy, to be honest. How even when people are posting, posting comments of genuine concern, showing genuine concern, they get jumped on. It would be good if the Ifam would sometimes admit they were wrong, and that they're not always right about everything. But as I said, this is what causes a lot of the problems, and it's causing a lot of issues. Is the Ifam won't ever accept they're wrong about something, they always have to be right. And people like Mama Dondons, Tracy Jacobs, Leanne Scott, Nicola Jarvis, Hassie Bourne, they're very good examples of that. They're very good examples of people who are never willing to accept that they might sometimes actually be wrong about something. They're a very good example of people who always have to be right about everything 100% of the time. I'd never be friends with someone like that, or how would you associate with someone that always has to be right about everything? Like that would be, I would never want to be friends with somebody who would never admit that they were wrong about something. They've always, understand people like that who always think they're right about everything, and never, and will never admit they're wrong. Because this is the problem. The Ifam might think they're always right about everything with regards to Chris and Sarah, but they're not always right about everything. And and some of them need to actually start accepting that. Some of them need to start accepting the fact they're not always right about everything, although they might think they are. The sooner some of them start accepting that, the better, right? The better, in my honest opinion. You know, they need, you know, to face the facts. They're not always right about everything. They might think they are, but they're not. You know, they can call us what they like. You know, troll, bullies, or whatever. Like, you know, not, you know, hater. But at the end of the day, I'd rather be a troll and a hater than be someone who sticks up for people like them, like the people like the Inhams. You know what? You know, it's really I'm getting really fed up with is the Ifam thinking everybody is jealous of Chris and Sarah. That's what they seem to think. They seem to think that people are hating on Chris and Sarah purely because they're jealous of them. You know, even Chris and Sarah, for some reason, still seem to think that people are jealous of them, which is absolutely hilarious and completely untrue. I might add. You know, I mean, I don't think anybody will ever be jealous of the Inhams. And the sooner people like Chris and Sarah and the Ifam actually start accepting that, the better. Like, that's the only, it seems like that's the only decent insult that any of them can ever come out with is, you know, to accuse someone of being jealous. Like, every time someone, you know, posts a negative comment, that person is accused of being jealous. And it's just gotten really boring now, and it's just gotten really pathetic as well. The fact that every time someone posts a negative comment, you get an Ifam jumping on them, you get an Ifam jumping on them, accusing them of being jealous. You know, when that person's issues have nothing to do with them being jealous of Chris and Sarah whatsoever. Because nobody is or ever, nobody ever has been jealous of them, or not, and nobody ever will be jealous of them. You know, nobody is jealous of them, in fact. Because why would, at the end of the day, it's like, why would anyone be, you know, be jealous of Chris and Sarah? People say, oh, they're living their best life. Yeah, right, they're living their best life. Like what? You know, like, hey, you know, what they, you know, and when you think about what they're depriving it kids of, you know, they're depriving it kids of, you know, of a proper decent social life, depriving it kids of a decent education, you know, and that has to be said. You know, people's, you know, just because someone, you know, posts a negative comment doesn't automatically mean that that person's jealous. But the Ifam seem to think that it automatically means that. The Ifam seem to think, you know, the Ifam seem to think, oh, that person's posting a negative comment. Oh, that person must be jealous. If they're posting a negative comment, that automatically means that that person's jealous. It does not. It does not automatically mean that that person is jealous of them. They might think it does. They might think it automatically means that, but it doesn't. You know, and they need to start, you know, they need to get that into their thick heads. That just because someone posts a negative comment doesn't mean that person's jealous. And it will never automatically mean that. You know, I hope you've enjoyed this video. And I'll see you for another one very soon. Bye-bye, guys. Have an awesome rest of your day. And I'll catch you later.